There's no many of our officials in the last good number of years, Albert, that's been officiating at World Cups or European Championships. Standards definitely went down. We had a few Dallas done it, I remember. But for him onwards, there's been nobody really in Scotland that's been going forward. They've done some European games, but it's coming to the crunch games and that. There's no many of them ever been selected. There's a reason why, because they're rotten.
They're not only rotten, mate, they're no fair and impartial. That's, and the rest of the world see it, mate. We know it. We're at the end of it most of the time, but there's other clubs in Scotland getting it as well as us. But we seem to be the butt of it all the time, doormat for Scottish football, which I'm sick of, which is not going to happen anymore, mate. Done with this. Now, the penalty itself, forget talking about it, mate. It's a penalty. We all know it's a penalty. The whole world knows it's a penalty. You know what I mean? Everybody that looked at it, apart from a certain group of fans, know it's a penalty. It's a Stonewall penalty. But Big Alex right about what is next. That's what we're worrying about now. What's next, mate? It's all right to say, oh, we'll need to learn for this. They'll no learn for it unless they understand what went on in that bar room. And what went on, in my opinion, in that bar room, if you listen to that audio, as a Celtic supporter, Frank Connor, shouting, it's no a penalty.
Fucking run that, Mark. Use young. That's how you cause a riot.
He's shouting like a supporter because he doesn't want a penalty game against his team. Now, how he's in that box and refereeing a Celtic game is unbelievable, mate, because he is a Celtic supporter. That's without doubt, mate. Nobody's going to tell me any different. And if they want proof it, we've got proof it if you so require.
Aye.
But that's what he is. He's a Celtic supporter, and that's why he shouted that. And that's why Muir's followed it. Now, I know Muir's not a Rangers fan either. I don't know what he is, but he's definitely not a friend of Rangers, let's say it that way. Not that we want friends. We just want this fair and square. We don't want any favours off anybody. We don't want referees to bend out towards us. We're just wanting a fair, even playing field to play football in. Best team wins at the end of the day, and that'll do us. We're happy with that. Now, we've got a problem now in Scotland. This is just the highlight. Because Connor, he's got history, mate. There's no doubt about it. The man is cheating.
Raging, isn't he? Fuming.
There's no doubt. So he's got history. So that's him done. But the rest of the referees, they have a look at themselves. Now, there's other Celtic supporter referees out there as well, and we all know them, right? We've also got our so-called Rangers supporter in Beaton, right? I think that's a given. He's a Rangers supporter.
Oh, wait! Piping!
He books 8 Rangers players on Sunday. 8, mate. That's if you had 16-man selection out of that game. He's booked half of our team, mate. Right. So you look at that and going, the reason he's a cheat now, I know, is because he's terrified to give decisions against him, as a lot of referees are.
My God, that's the best yet.
For various reasons, what's happened in history, with windies getting panned in and families getting threatened and kids getting threatened. It's all happened, mate. It's all been there. We all know it. Detectives hired and looked at people's private life and all this.
Did that break your heart, mate? Aye. Man, you greeting, aye.
It's happened, mate. We're not talking daft here. It's actually happened. So you're looking at it. The problem we've got in Scottish football, the cliche is, if you've not got referees, you've not got a game. Well, we've not got referees, mate. How can we trust any of these referees? They're either terrified to give decisions against them, or they're just blatantly, like Connor, just cheating, mate. There's no other word for it.
What? You actually being serious?
They're not saying incompetent, don't say cheating, and don't say this, and don't say that. It's a fact, mate. If you listen to that audio, he's acting like a fan, because he is a fan. And he's shouting, no penalty, no penalty. Not even looked at it. Not even had slowed the play down. No day in his job. Just no penalty, no penalty. You can't have this, mate. It's wrong. It's totally wrong. But what we've got now is, that's done. It's all done now. So we went through the first line of the cabal's defence. The first line of the cabal's defence to get round this was Willie Collum. Willie Collum comes out and does the right thing for a change. He comes out and does the right thing, gives you the audio and says it was a definite penalty. And he doesn't understand how they got it wrong. The Celtic support, one of the Celtic supporter, anyway, it's a guarantee. That's why he's shouting. We know that. Right, so we're through that first defence. The second defence is Ian Maxwell, so the CEO of the SFA. They're waking him up and tell him, like, you need to say something about this. What's his reaction to it? Mistakes happen. The day human error happens, that's a given. You can't look at that and say that's a human error. That's nothing to do with error, mate. That's just a guy don't want a penalty against his team.
You're a grouch.
That's all that is, mate. It's as simple as that. And if that is the fact, well, that's just cheating. Right, so we're through him. That's the second defence. We're through him. He's a non-entity. He just made a fool of himself. But bear in mind, this is the guy that ruined the credibility of the Scottish Cup, the oldest football cup competition in the world. And that guy ruined the credibility of that by playing it the following year so Celtic could win a treble.
The boys know well.
No, I mean, it's ridiculous, mate. So he does take anything he says. He's a clown, an absolute clown. So in there's four. The third one is the mainstream media. And that's why I was particularly interested on the manager's conversation today, because I knew they'd be setting traps. And they're wanting to say something controversial. That's how they let him there. 2 or 3, 4 questions about the Sunday's game. But Clement handled it well. He's not interested now. As far as he's concerned, he's got to concentrate on Dundee. He's got a football team to run here, and a league to win, and a Scottish Cup to win.
No chance. God's sake, you've been drinking.
And a run in Europe still to continue. So he's focusing on his job now. That bit's done. But no, they keep on line. So I was waiting. They're waiting. So the mainstream media are going to prod away to try and get him to say controversial thing, so they can actually give front pages with, oh, that's what he said. The manager said this, blah blah blah. So it takes the light away from the actual incident. No, the incident's a given. It's what's the follow up of the incident we're worrying about now. Now the fourth one is the two. How do you call them? If there's 3, you would call them the what do you call them? The old Larry, Curly and Mo, but there's only 2 of them. So there is Lywell and McClelland. They've still to come out. Shifty McClelland's yet to come out and start his own homework again. He's yet to have his saying it. Lywell will lie in wait for a while. He'll not come out the now. He'll lie in wait, hope it all dies down, and then he'll come out and try and put it all to bed the way his style is, with his phone calls in the background and his wee secret meetings and all this carry on.
There's a man out there. I don't mean a man, I mean I don't know what I mean.
So that's what we're going, mate. But at the end of the day, Scottish football needs to waken up. The rest of these clubs need to waken up, mate. We haven't got a game now. None of the officials you can trust now, because they're all getting affected with one club, and that's a fact, mate. And you can't have this, mate. You cannot have this. You've got them just basically every season win the league without even a bobbing kick, mate. They're winning leagues. The 11-point gap this season is mainly down to our inability to beat teams. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not blaming anybody for that. That's firmly down to us, mate. We allowed that gap to get there for various reasons.
Oh yeah, I think I can smell shite.
But telling you, mate, if we don't stand up to the new, mate, and get this changed and start cleaning out that cabal in the SFA and the SPFL,
I've lost the plot, man.
You're never going to get it changed, mate. It's just going to be more of this for season after season after season, and you're just going to get more and more and more and more frustrated about it. It's bad, mate. It's got to be sorted.
Oh, lovely.
And the rest of the teams need to start filing in behind Rangers to say, no, Aberdeen, it happens to Aberdeen. I've seen it happen to Aberdeen. What? It's happened to Motherwell. The only 2 managers I remember coming out and saying anything about them, especially at Parkhead, was McInnes and Levine. Levine came out as well. He's the only one that's come out. The rest of the managers just be quiet. They just, oh, okay, it happened. It's all right. But it's not all right. It's absolutely not all right.
Try your eyes, mate. I know it's hard to take.
You had them all shouting and bawling at their AGM about penalty Rangers, penalty Rangers, penalty Rangers. Something started it in the off-holy suit, and it got brought up at their own annual Jers meeting. So penalty Rangers, standing Joe, penalty Rangers. Rangers don't get penalties now at all.
Get it round you.
So they're listening. The referees are listening to their AGMs and what their chief exec's saying. So Rangers don't get penalties. Even Stonewall penalties, you just don't get penalties now. And that's bad, mate. That tells you what's happening in Scottish football. These things are very, very telling. If you want to look at the evidence, it's there in front of you, mate. You can't say it's not happening. Anyway, I'm done now.
Oh, lovely.